In this video, we will be making this no-sew drawstring face mask out of a t-shirt. This project is designed for anyone who doesn't know how to or have the supplies to sew. This 4-layered mask also includes an optional nose pinch to really hold it in place. But please remember that this is not a replacement for a N95 or medical grade mask. With that in mind, let's start by reviewing the supplies and tools we'll need. A t-shirt, scissors, a ruler, a pen, a sheet of paper, and a pipe cleaner. Step 1. Select shirt. Select a shirt to make your mask out of. I recommend one that's made from 100% cotton and will feel comfortable against your face. You can choose one that is plain or one that has a design. Note that you will need at least 14 by 21 inches of fabric to make the mask, so choose a shirt that will be big enough. The shirt I have here is a woman's size small. If you have a much larger shirt, you can potentially make a few masks, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I will only be making one. Step 2. Cut and prep fabric. Start by flipping the shirt so that the front side is facing down. Then take a pair of scissors and cut a straight line up the middle of the back. This doesn't need to be perfect. Open up the sides to reveal the seams. Now carefully cut around the arms and neck, making sure to leave a little room between your cut and the seams. This part is especially important if you are working with a smaller size shirt and need to preserve fabric. If you have a larger shirt, you can just cut straight across under the arms. Remember not to throw this part away. We will need it later to make the string. Step 3. Create paper template. With your t-shirt set aside, take out one sheet of regular paper. Measure up 7 inches along the side and make a mark with your pen. Repeat on the opposite side, and then connect the 2 marks with a straight line. Turn the paper 90 degrees and measure up another 7 inches along the line you just drew. Repeat again on the opposite edge. Draw another straight line across, and you now have a 7 by 7 inch square. Take your scissors and cut it out. Finally, measure up 1 inch and 1 inch on one of the ends and draw a line to connect, but do not cut this off. I will explain its use later. Step 4. Transfer template. Take your fabric and lay it so that it's flat against your work surface. Make sure that the outside of the shirt is facing down. If your shirt doesn't have a pattern, you can tell by looking at the seams. Inside seams should be facing up. Now take your paper template and line it up in the middle of the fabric using the bottom edge as a guide. Hold the paper in place with your ruler and carefully trace around it. If you have a pen with permanent ink, be careful not to stain your work surface. And if it smudges a little, that's fine. This is going to be the inside of the mask. Remove the paper and you will see your square on the fabric. Repeat this step and make another square directly above the first square. Now repeat 2 more times for 1 square to the left and 1 square to the right. However, we will want our side pieces to actually be a little shorter in height. So now we are going to fold along the line of our template to create a 7 by 6 inch rectangle. Reline up the template onto the left side and trace along the bottom line. Repeat on the right. Step 5. Cut out. Now we are going to cut out our mask. While cutting, you want to make sure that your lines are clean, so take your time and stay as close on the lines as possible. Don't be afraid to rotate the shirt to make it more comfortable for you to cut. Go all the way around until you are done. You won't need this extra fabric, but keep it around for now just in case. Step 6. Cut seams. Next, we are going to make the strings for our drawstrings. Take the upper part of the shirt that we cut off in step 2 and search the arms for seams. You will find seams at the shoulders and the arms. Loosely cut around each on both sides so that you have 4 seams to work with. Then carefully trim around each seam, making sure not to snip into the pre-existing stitching. We are using the seams because they are already reinforced and will make a stronger string than just the t-shirt fabric. If you actually have an already existing string or yarn that you would prefer to use, then you can skip this step. Once you have 4 strings, line them up and cut them to the height of the mask, about 14 inches. Keep 2 excess pieces around 4 inches as well, for a total of 6 strings. If you made any mistakes and need more string, you can go back to the neckline or look through the other scraps of fabric that we saved. Step 7. Cut holes. To insert the drawstrings, we first need to cut a few holes into our mask. Take your pen and put a mark in at 1/2 inch from each of the 4 corners of the center bottom panel. Then with one hand, gently pinch the fabric like this, and snip a tiny hole with the very tip of your scissors. You will want the hole to be big enough to fit the string, but not too big. If you want to practice, I suggest doing so on one of the scrap pieces we put off to the side. Now take your ruler and line it up along the line between the left and center panels. Mark a mark at 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, 5 inch, and 5.5 inch. Repeat on the other line. Then pinch the cloth to make small scissor cuts on each side of the mask. Step 8. Lace and tie strings. To make lacing up the strings easier, I'm going to name them A, B, C, and X, Y, Z. Take string A and slip it through the top left corner hole from the underside. Repeat with string X on the top right hole. Now take string B and lay it down here next to A with an inch or so overhanging. Now we are going to tie string A onto itself like this. You want the knot to be tight, but don't do it too tight and rip the t-shirt. Then do a double knot with A and the top of string B. Trim the excess. Repeat this process on the right side with strings X and Y. Now we are going to take string B and lace it through the holes we made on the left line. So take the tip and go through hole number 1 from the top side. Feel on the underside and pull it through. Then come back up through hole number 2. Down number 3, up number 4, down number 5, and up number 5.5. If your mask is wrinkled up, stretch the fabric to straighten it out. Repeat on the right with string Y. Down through 1, up through 2, down through 3, up through 4, down through 5, and up through 5.5. Now tuck strings A and X behind the left and right panels respectively. Also straighten strings B and Y so they all hang downward. Take string C and loop it through the bottom left corner hole. Make sure to be under the ends of string A and B. Then do a double knot with A and B sandwiched inside. You want this knot to be tight, but not super tight because we need to be able to move A and B through it. So after you're done, give a little tug to A and B like this to test. If it feels too tight or too loose, you can unknot and try again. Trim the excess. Repeat on the right with string Z. Finish this step off by doing little knots on each string A, B, X, and Y. Then trim the excess. Step 9. Add nose pinch. If you want to add a nose pinch for extra hold, you can, but if not, the mask will still work. For the nose pinch, you will need a pipe cleaner. However, a few twist ties stacked together can work too. Get your ruler back out and line it up about 1/4 inch away from the line below. Make sure the 2 lines are parallel and then draw a line across with your pen. Now we need to find the center point of the line. Measure the total width of your mask and place a small mark at the halfway point. Our mask is 7 inches wide, so that will be at 3.5 inches. Then from the center point, measure 1/2 inch to the left, then 1/4 inch, 3/4 inch, and another 1/4 inch. Go back to the center and repeat on the right. 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 3/4 inch, and 1/4 inch. Carefully pinch and snip on each mark, but not on the center point. Next, fold your pipe cleaner in half and cut it with your scissor. Then twist the two pieces to create one firm wire. When you are done, carefully slip the wire through the cut holes as so. Make sure it's centered and then fold the ends onto itself to keep it in place. If you're using twist ties, lay them flat and then fold. Step 10. Fold and wear. First, fold up the bottom hanging flap. Then take the left panel and fold it over to the center. Now the right panel to the center, and finally the top panel. Tuck the excess fabric under the two side panels like this. And now I'll show you how to wear it. Hook the loops onto your ears. Now grab your two drawstrings and pull them down while pushing up against the mask. Do the same on the other side. As you can see, one drawstring tightens the mask up to your ears and the other scrunches it against your face. If you have a nose pinch, push it down against your nose to really keep it tight. Make any other small adjustments and you're done. If you don't like the drawstrings dangling, then tuck them in under the mask. Washing. When you want to wash your mask, open it up and pull the pipe cleaner or twist ties out. Wash it in a bowl of soapy water, rinse, and then hang to dry. You can replace the nose pinch with fresh wire by repeating the insert process from step 9. And that's how you make a no-sew drawstring face mask with an optional nose pinch. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to use an extra large shirt to make more than one mask, you can trace multiple templates onto the fabric if there's enough room. Also, if you want to adjust the size or dimensions of the template to better fit your face, feel free to play around with it. Here are a few sizing options. Please let me know what you guys think of this project in the comments below. If you have an Instagram or Twitter, send me pictures of your mask. I'd love to see your work. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed watching.